You really think by putting tampons in a guy's bathroom is the best use of money and resources? Is that where we're at with all the stuff we got going on?
To Newsom, he probably says it's great.
To who?
Newsom thinks it's great.
Newsom.
Oh, for sure. People in Sacramento.
It's going to help the mental health of our kids.
The mental health of our kids. I don't even know where to go with that.
But that was totally something that they would say, though.
Oh, yeah. It was totally something they would say.
Yeah,
so,
that was...
socially and emotionally, this is going to be exceptional for you.
Stellar.
Yeah, it's going to be a bunch of boys just sticking tampons in the toilet, see how much water it can absorb.
Yeah. They'd be coming out with tampons out of their ears like this.
Okay.
Teacher turns around. She's on the board. She's getting hit in the back of the head with a tampon. That's really what's going to happen with it.
Yeah.
That's what should happen, though.
They're going to try to figure out
school,
if they can throw it up on the ceiling and get it to stick. Like, that's really what's going to happen.
Yeah.
100%, yeah. But that's what kids should be doing. Is like elementary school, right?
Like, look at it. Oh, man. Brian, stop doing that, Brian. Hey, they were in the bathroom. Yeah.
What happened to my podcast?
Boy, where are we at?
I'm moving on.
This is great.
I'm moving on. I don't know. You two, that was bad. You know you got small kids because I'm thinking of my two god kids right now fighting each other. Okay, that's it.
Oh. Man, your bathroom got swords in it.
What's going on, everybody? This is Not Offended Podcast. Your boy, the conservative Chicano right here, Anthony, sitting next to my boy, Bill, the agent. I got the bishop across from me as well as the token. I got Deshaun and Mike. I want to give some shout outs. I just got back from Alabama. Shout out to my homie IV, Pastor IV, Becoming Man Church, or Becoming Man is what he does, and his organization is called Becoming Church. Man, in Decatur. Had a great time out there with you guys. I want to give a shout out to all my boys watching me in Texas, Louisiana now. And man, and then my homie Kyle up in Ohio, man, such a great time with you. Experience Church out in Ohio. I think it's called Defiance, Ohio. As a matter of fact, it was an honor and a privilege to hang out with you, men of God, this weekend and form and forge a brotherhood. So this is Not Offended Podcast. We talk about culture and its influence on the church. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on iTunes and, of course, YouTube. Please hit the like button. Give us a 5-star review. One day, we might actually pay Jake for putting on this podcast. If you start getting sponsors, Jake, we can make something happen. Jake's over there handling stuff right now. So it's such an honor and privilege to be with you guys. Thank you for tuning in. We got a hot one. Joe Rogan shouts out Fresno in the worst way possible. And a few people came to his defense, and I thought it was interesting. The comedian, I believe his name was Chris. Do we got a last name on him?
DeStefano.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be real with you. Outside of Jake telling me who he was, I didn't really know who he was, but he's kind of funny. He's pretty funny. I'm like, I give him his credit, his little shout out right there, right? I just don't keep up with a lot of comedians, but he was on Joe Rogan podcast, and they talked about how much Fresno was. I don't know, was it trash or that it was trashy? And he said if he lived here longer than 3 days, he'd be hooked on drugs. Is that? Did I get that right, Bill? Is that what he was saying?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I was lucky to grow up. I grew up in New York City, great parents, whatever. But then I just had a show in Fresno a couple of days ago, and I said if I grew up here, I'd be a little different.
You'd be a lot different.
Because Fresno is one of those places where I went a great time. But I mean, those just being there, being in that city for 24 hours, I was like, I don't know if this was my every single day. You might turn to drugs. It's
depressing.
It's depressing. I drove from Fresno to San Jose, and we were passing through Stockton, and I thought I was in Switzerland because that's what an upgrade it was from Fresno.
Bro, I was driving through a street in Fresno, and people were walking out in the middle of the street like, what the are you doing driving here?
Yeah.
Like I went down a wrong area where it's like mostly homeless people.
Yeah. Oh, no. That the Fresno Skid Row that I saw was the one, I think the worst I've ever seen.
So I thought it was interesting because the mayor shot back. The mayor shot back on Twitter and told Joe Rogan, I don't tell you how to call MMA fights or what you should say on your podcast. You shouldn't chime in over here on how I'm running the city. Then he started, cite some stats. And you know what? I listened to the podcast. There was only one thing that I thought DeStefano Chris said that was a little bit out of context. He said Stockton was better than Fresno. And I'm from Stockton, yo. Shout out to the 209. What's up? I know all about the Stockton slap. I know I'm from there. And my mama still lived there. I got family. I got all sorts of family who lives there. And I thought, man, I don't know what part of Stockton he rode through. Stockton pretty bad. So, I got a shirt that says I survived Stockton for what it's worth. But so let's get right after it. And then we had Alexion Balikian, I think that's how you say his name. They were talking about the Joe Rogan. It was Joe Rogan versus Jerry. They had a couple commentators on there wondering, if Joe Rogan was right or was Jerry right or whatever. But let's Mike, what say you? We're gonna start off with Mike because Mike's been waiting. Mike, what do you think about all this going on? Fresno, the homelessness, the drugs.
Well, they say wine gets better over time, right?
Oh yeah, it gets aged.
It ages. Well, I got a lot of flack for saying that Fresno was a dump a while back, and
hey, everybody will testify. He got a lot of slack.
I got a lot of heat.
You did.
But man, it's starting to look righter and righter every day.
Oh my gosh. Can we just clarify you didn't say whiter and whiter? Well,
I know certain politicians would love it if it was whiter and whiter. But what I was telling Sean, one thing I don't understand about politicians, and I understand it's a game and you can't, if the city looks bad, it makes you look bad.
Right.
And so I understand that point, but it's like nobody ever just comes out and says like the honest truth about what's going on in Fresno.
Give it to us.
We're like in a really bad relationship.
Oh, explain that.
Like where you just don't want to say, hey, how toxic it is.
Okay.
And so you just say, oh, it's really not that bad. No, okay. It's really that bad. Like drive-through tower, it's really that bad. I was talking to a friend of mine who started a business, and he goes, he's a barber, and he goes, I don't want anything to do with Fresno because everywhere I would open up a shop, I don't want people to have to walk through homeless people.
That's true.
So he opened up a shop in Clovis.
Right.
So you have people like Nathan Magzig, who's some type of dude. He's a councilman. What does he do?
County supervisor.
Whatever that does, right? And he comes out and he defends, Jerry Dyer's policies. And he said, Jerry's doing such a great job and he's working hard and all this other stuff. And he just, wah, 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 wah. That's all we're hearing. Deshaun, look at yeah. But in the meantime, businesses are fleeing to his city.
That's true.
Because they know that they can be supported.
That's a good point.
And so it's like, can we just say the honest truth? The honest truth is that there is a terrible problem. Like you trying to put everybody on Motel Drive off of Belmont or trying to put people off of Dakota and Blackstone really isn't solving much. Right. Tents are only growing.
That's true.
These pockets that people have to live in are, as far as like people who own homes. I mean, perfect example. Somebody across the street over here just bought a home in Tower. During the day, she's like, oh, it looks great. Only to find out that at night, they use it as a squatting house. It's been the same way since we moved in 10 years ago over here. Right. And what does the city do to help her out? Nothing. And they allow people to own homes and just vacate them and allow people just to squat in them, to do whatever they want in them. And they don't. Jerry Dyer is not doing enough. And we just need to say it for what it is. And Luis Chavez and all these other council people who try to come out and he's doing a great job. Well, it's all talking points. Let's just say it for what it is. Fresno is still, has been, and hopefully won't be anymore, but is still a dump.
Okay, wow, he got that off his chest. He's been waiting. Deshaun, how are you going to add to that? Take away, subtract, multiply? What are you going to do, Deshaun?
Oh, I like Nathan. So the interactions I had with him or heard him speak.
He's a nice guy, but say it for what it is.
Yes, but he also needs to tell the truth.
Okay.
For parts of Fresno aren't that nice. There's a ton of homeless people. The council is trying to deal with this. They were talking about open up selling. That's Selling Arena, or part of it. It wasn't Selling Arena, but part of it. To open up for homelessness, because so many homeless people out on the street right now is a huge problem in Fresno. The side of town that I live on, far southeast Fresno, you used to never see homeless people. Now there's even homeless people out there. They keep moving different places because they keep kicking them out, trying to find a place to live. Yeah, Fresno has a big problem with homelessness in Fresno, and he just needs to be honest about it. The mayor needs to be honest about it. Nathan needs to be honest about it. That it is a problem.
Okay, Bill. I'm giving everybody their due. I'm trying not to interrupt and anything. So I'm giving everybody their due. Go ahead, Bill.
So Joe Rogan calls us out.
Joe Rogan called us out.
So
No, he just says the truth.
He did say the truth. But is Jerry trying to latch on to Joe's podcast by naming him and things like that to get some more? I don't
so
know.
you think there might be an alternative play here? There might be.
Oh, sure. The question is, does Joe chime back? Does Joe Rogan chime back? Probably not. He's moved on. He's not thinking about Fresno. Here's the thing. So the mayor does have a tall task.
I hope he does. That would be great.
The mayor does have a tall task. He didn't create the homeless problem, but he's trying to solve it through his
One Fresno.
But Mike's right, man. You have to start with the real factual numbers, right? You can't start painting this picture because you have to, run in 2 years. You have to paint this rosy picture that this thing is getting better, and so the mayor is going to have to run on this in 2 years. And so what does he have to start doing today? He has to start saying, hey, we're doing everything we can, and the problem's getting fixed. The problem with what the mayor is doing is he's partnering with people who don't really want to fix the homeless problem.
There it is. Finally, someone said it.
Okay, and so he's trusting. He may know, but he's either trusting or partnering with these organizations, the left-leaning liberals who don't really want to take care of this problem, right? And so what's the end result going to be? There's going to be more homeless this year.
I think all of you bring up some good points, and I know Nathan personally. He is a good dude. I like him. I've got no beef. I just thought it was ironic that he didn't cite anything in Fresno. He cited, what was the Sequoia National Park? He cited, what was the other place? Kings Canyon. Yeah. And he cited some things that are outside the city of Fresno. And we see all this stuff. We see the park on Belmont. We see what's Sao Paulo Park. We see these other parks, and we're like, we don't know where you're talking about, because we see what we come to work every day in. We see what's out our own footsteps. People shooting up, people smoking meth right on our doorstep. We see all that. And I think you're right about the business community. But let's you said something, Bill, that I think is the truth of it all. And the truth of it all, and you guys reiterated a little bit of this, is let's start with honesty. The first politician to be honest would probably be the last one, because you probably get killed. And they all need it. It's like, could we really fix immigration? Absolutely. But then you'd have nothing to run on. Right? And matter of fact, I think there's about $7.5–8 million you could have used for homelessness, but you decided to buy a theater.
Maybe they do some housing over there.
You know what I mean?
They got housing over it. Drive by the theater in the morning, early hour morning. They got lots of housing outside.
Under the terrazzo. Under the terrazzo, we got housing.
The historic terrazzo with all the feces, all the pee,
but you know what I'm
needle.
saying? That's because if you continue to have the problem, you can run on that. I'm going to fix homelessness. No, you're not. You're not, because you don't want to. It's like when he got out the other day, Jerry Dyer, and said, I'm concerned about PG&E. No, you're not. Jerry, what do you make a year, bro? You're retired from one thing. You're the mayor of the city. You probably make $450,000, $500,000 a year, bro. You ain't worried about PG&E. The last time you sweated a PG&E bill was the first time, because it ain't happened. When you got single moms out there, or you got middle-class families working, both parents is working in the household, they're sweating PG&E, wondering how they going to pay it in the winter. You over there, I'm concerned. No. No, you think you're concerned, and it sounds good to people. But you ain't ever been concerned about paying your PG&E bill. And he gonna come at me, well, when I was younger. Okay, not talking about now, bro. You over here, you forgot what it was like. You forgot. What's that old expression that your boys always, don't forget where you came from. You done missed it, right? It's talking points. Don't get mad. See, this is what it tells me. If you offend the mind, you reveal the heart. You got to come out here with some fake stats. Well, we did this, we did that. Nah, bruh. You over here chummy buddying with Gavin and your buddy Biden, homeless initiative. No, this is talking points, because you don't want to fix it.
Well, I think that's both sides, though, too. I think the main job of a politician is to get reelected.
That's it.
Whether you're Republican or Democrat, conservative or liberal.
Okay, I tell you what. The only reason I'm bringing up their names is because they're the ones in office.
Oh no, yeah, but I'm saying I think that's what they do.
Okay, so guess what?
That's why.
That's the
why,
problem.
And that's why he said something about this video was because he's like, oh man, that made me look really bad.
Yep.
Yeah, instead of just saying, you know what? Yeah, we still got an issue here. We got a problem. We're trying to fix it. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So I just think it's interesting. And Bill, I do think there's a little bit of like, you know, let me throw a little something back and see if that gets some run. Because who knows what his aspirations are? We don't know. I don't know. But I tell you this: if you really want to fix a problem, then you get the best people in the room to fix the problem. You don't get politicians. They don't fix problems. They create more problems. Yeah. Larger governments only creates more problems.
Yeah, so even talking about Fresno, I mean, the only large city that I saw that in California that's nice is San Diego. All the rest of them are dumps too. So you can argue that, Fresno's dumb. Well, so is LA, and so are the other big cities.
LA is so bad right now. Sacramento, I couldn't believe it.
Okay, but if you hear people who are from Fresno talk about Fresno, they don't talk about it like that.
And when people talk about LA, they're not talking about LA either.
Yeah, he's got a good point. People do defend their cities. Listen,
I'm not arguing that.
They're saying LA, they're saying down south, and they're like, oh, that's LA.
Yeah, I would tell you this much. I have a heart for my city. I love my city. And I don't particularly, this is where you and I disagree a little bit, Mike. I don't think Fresno's a dump. Okay? I don't think Fresno's trash. I do think Fresno's in crisis. And I think Fresno with the methamphetamine, with the fentanyl, with the homelessness that's out of hand. And I think it's about time Fresnians wake up and elect the right people who really want to get stuff done. And
right. That's exactly what I said. You just used nicer words except for dump.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if I didn't like it, I wouldn't be here.
Well, no, I know that. I know
sell my house and I move away. I mean, I have.
But Portland's a dump. I will say, I just got back from Portland. My gosh,
I'm definitely not going there.
That was strange. I've done seen some things that I don't know. Good Lord, take me home. I've done seen some things, but anyway, I'm just saying. To me, I look at it like,
but you don't fix things when you just close your eyes and pretend they don't exist.
That's why I agree with you.
And you don't say that Fresno's a destination location.
Whoa.
That's what they say.
Okay,
like,
well, I have to watch the rest.
Fresno's a destination location.
I've never heard that, but okay. But here's what I'm saying. I agree. Listen, we got to move on because we got other stuff. This was just the comedy hour part of it right here, right? The comedy few minutes. Thank you for tuning in to Not Offended Podcast. Please like, subscribe, comment on this. There's the difference of who we are, right? You know, and I know people are going to go after Mike as they go after me on all these comments. Listen, you're free. Leave a comment. That's fine. But you notice I don't interrupt and I don't try to change their opinion. Their opinion is their opinion, and they're grown men, and they'll have to answer for their own opinion. Mike's got no problem. And, you know, I'll tell you this much. If that offends you, then why don't you go add value to your city? Go get a trash bag, start picking up trash, you know, support okay, I'll give you this. This is why we support the Fresno Rescue Mission. You really want to fix a problem? Empower the Fresno Rescue Mission. They'll help you fix the homeless crisis. That's it. Because if you actually empower the people who can actually fix the problem, then they get the shine and you don't, and that's what they can't stand. Just be honest.
No ribbon cuttings.
No ribbon cuttings, no photo ops. But I was always taught, you know, the better the leader are, the less shine you need. Because you make everybody around you a winner. And politicians don't like doing that. They don't like doing that. They don't like, you know, dispersing that credit and be like, nah, man, that was all him. Because that's the dude right there. That's who we need to support. But I tell you right now, you give the Fresno Rescue Mission the $8 million, and let's see what they're able to do with it. We see their program. We support their program. Let's see what happens. Shout out Fresno Rescue Mission, right? Yeah. So I think that's that. But you know, I just want to encourage everybody. Then we take part. That's why we do Serve Day. That's why we do what we do. Is because we believe what God wants to do in the city. And I feel bad for the homeless people, man. You know, we have them show up for church, and there's a good portion of them that. And I know Matthew Dildine would know this stat, but they're on drugs. The access to fentanyl is ridiculous. The access to meth is ridiculous. And I think that's where we need the church. We need the church to do what only we could do, which is help set the captives free. So anyway, I just want to segue to that. So I got an interesting segue into this part. I got an interesting. Somebody tagged me in a TikTok. I don't have TikTok personally, okay. And there was this young man on there who I believe he used to work for YouTube, okay. and he was exposing the amount of child pornography that is on YouTube with kids animation and kids programming. That a young child will click on a program on YouTube, and all of a sudden, once that program is over, whatever, it'd be satiated or it'd be inundated with other pornographic things. And that he said, and I quote, YouTube is becoming one of the largest suppliers of children's porn. Now, whether it's intentional or accidental, I'm not here to quote that. I don't know. But he's saying that as far as the accessibility, not that they're actually, creating content and putting it out there, but the accessibility to it. Did anybody else get tagged?
So let me get this right. So the kid starts on YouTube. They click a couple
like
links.
Sharky. What was the thing? Sharknado, Shark Potatoes. What was it?
Daddy Shark.
Daddy Shark.
Daddy Shark.
What happened to Mama Shark?
She's in it too.
Oh, Mama Shark in there? Yeah, okay. I've never seen it.
I thought it was Baby Shark.
Oh, it's a Baby Shark.
Baby Shark.
Dang, and you got small kids.
But they're all in it.
Oh, okay. That's good. Okay.
Mommy Shark.
Okay, but does the Daddy Shark know he's a man? Or that he's a male? And are we sure? Or is that a transgender?
How's he identify? We don't know how to identify.
Okay, do sharks know about identify? Okay, sorry, I digress.
Anyway, so I was going back. Your kid's on YouTube, and they hit a couple links on there, and it takes them to another site. Is that what it's doing through the...
Or after that one's over, something else plays. You guys got small kids. Any experience with this? Or do you watch what they watch, or they're not allowed to get on YouTube?
They don't get on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't put my kids on
Okay,
YouTube.
so I'll speak on that. My kids are on YouTube. Okay, they watch a lot of like Mr. B, kind of like the video. People that play video games, these big, huge.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Mr. Beast.
I don't know who any of these guys are, but I know about how kids watch that to learn.
And
cheat
so
codes.
if you go to any,
is that what it is? Cheat codes? Did I messed that up? Jake's over here dying laughing. We need a millennial. We need a millennial on this podcast. Jake, just come over here and alternate the mic so you can help us out. Why are you laughing? Are we cheat codes are like 20 years ago. Oh, cheat codes are. Jake said cheat codes are 20 years ago. Up, down, left, right, BA, BA, BA. I had a Nintendo.
That's
Get off me.
Sega Genesis.
Oh, is that
to age ourselves.
I had to work, okay, guys. I wasn't able to play video games. I had to work. Someone had to provide. Go ahead.
So YouTube. So my kids are YouTube. They're allowed to get on there. We check ever so often what they're watching. But I didn't hear about this. I heard something through there that there's channels and stuff that you got to be careful with. But I don't go as far as checking what they're clicking, right, or what's being sent to them. And so I have to really look into that.
Yeah.
As
so this is the first you're hearing of it.
Yes.
Yeah. Someone. I'd have to look back.
No, I mean they've been talking about this for a while.
Oh, talk to me. Okay.
Because I know I've heard about it, where you click on the link and it appears to be a video that you would want your kid to watch, and then some way into the video it just changes.
Wow.
And so that's why. And that's why. That's one of the reasons why we were like, hey, we're not doing YouTube, because the kid will click on it thinking it's appropriate. Or thinking it's Lego something or whatever.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing you say is they thought they was clicking on Baby Shark instead of Two Live Crew video came on.
There it is.
Oh.
So I'll say
that's gonna be some problems.
To your parents out there, you got to really watch out, because if you go to any elementary school, okay, even middle school, or when they take pictures of the kids what they want to be as a grown up. Mm-hmm. Okay, I guarantee you, once your kids get there and they ask for that, is 50% of those kids are going to say they want to be a YouTuber. Okay? And so there's a large platform for kids.
So, Bill, what I'm hearing you say is, to the parents who watch this, and maybe you need to tag a parent, you really need to go back and see what they were actually watching. And so what I'm hearing is, don't be a lazy parent.
Well, it's hard.
Hold on. Number one. Number two, don't be an uninformed parent, right? And by the way, these aren't orders as in priorities. This is just how they're coming to me. Don't be lazy. Don't be uninformed. And ready for this? And don't trust your child. Don't trust your child in the sense that they're not trustworthy, but no, trust that what they click on is actually what they clicked on. And then we all know how it works. Once you see something that sparks your interest, you keep watching more, then you try to hide it. So I'm not saying that to castigate or put down your kids or your parents. I'm just saying, hey, those three things. Who hasn't been a checked out parent before? This happens to us all. But when it comes to this stuff, we might be opening up Pandora's box. What were you going to say? Go ahead.
Yeah, but even if you were to look at the history of like what they clicked,
because it says one thing.
Because it says they were watching Lego Batman, You know, it may not
right.
be it.
No, you're right.
And so that's why it's like, I would say if you're going to let your kid, small kids, right? If you're going to let your small kids watch YouTube,
And let's be
like,
honest.
you should be there watching.
Even older kids. I mean, who are we kidding? I mean, I don't know what you was doing when he was 12. I know what I was doing when I was 12. I probably should have got checked in on.
True. Me too.
Don't say nothing.
Yeah. Mom's watching D.
Mom's watching, bro. Don't say nothing. Stay there quiet. What do you think about that YouTube? Do you think?
No, you have to be careful. Even like with stuff I watch, like I'll watch like gym videos. We'll come on gym videos. Guys who probably watch that probably watch girls at the gym. And so until it learns, like, hey, I don't want to see that, it's trying to send you that stuff. So it's not even intentional.
So you're saying it's like an algorithm as well.
It is.
Gotcha.
It's saying like, oh, guys, you should watch this. Also watch this. Until I have to
That's why that stuff pops up sometimes. I'm like, I'm not interested.
So yeah, I literally have to dislike or go.
Got
Like,
you.
don't recommend this channel. Don't recommend this channel.
Yeah.
Eventually, it stops happening.
So it tries to figure out your pattern or a possible pattern to
you'll
keep
like.
feeding you. This is so it keeps you on, bro. Because sometimes, like, I watched. Oh gosh, I might get this wrong. Forgive me. Something swole. This guy, is it Joey Swole? Okay, Joey Swole. Super. I think he's a super cool guy. I don't know. He was defending another guy who this girl went after and was gym shaming, and he was defending her and basically saying, "No, you got to do better." This guy, what he was really doing is good gym etiquette. And she even went and got the manager, tried to get his license or his membership revoked, the whole thing. And Joey Swole was just defending him, saying, hey, all you people who go to the gym, you need to do better. And his big kick has been stop filming other people. Film yourself, but stop filming other people and making fun of them. The new thing is to make fun of them. It's like to see somebody doing something wrong. And like the new thing is to make fun of people. So it's funny because after that popped up this other one where this woman came on just basically half naked saying, we're going to work on, I don't know, she said like butts and guts or something. I don't know. I was like, no, we ain't working on no butts and guts. That's not what we're working on today. Okay. And I'm like,
It's Wednesday, not Tuesday.
But that makes sense now. So you're saying the same people who are watching that probably, and you got to click it and tell no. See,
Well, and plus YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, they know what, you know, age groups like 15 to 20-year-olds, what they stay on and watch for.
This
so
is
you
crazy.
may not be liking those things, but Facebook and YouTube will tell you this is what you like.
this is what you
And
should
this
like.
is what they'll
So
send you.
parents, once again, let's go back to those three. Don't be a checked out parent or a lazy parent, right? Don't be an uninformed parent, and don't trust your kids. You need to make sure, you know, matter of fact, how about this guy? Let's just limit the screen time. We went over this last week. Let's just limit the screen time. Parents, we need you now more than ever. Okay. It's Not Offended podcast, man. We're just knee deep in it right now. Someone's got to come dig us out, get a backhoe, get something, because we're all up in it now. Check this out. This is true. This is real. We got the article. Fresno Unified, or schools in general, are going to start to put. I'm gonna mess this up because I don't know the correct words.
vending machines.
Vending machines.
I mean, that's probably not the right way, but
Okay.
dispensers.
Dispensary
I think
machines.
dispensaries. I think it's some weed, but it's not weed. Well, I don't know. Maybe you never know. But so they're gonna put tampons in the guy's bathroom. Is that if that's the cookies on the bottom shelf way to put it?
Yeah, there's a new state law that came out that
Did you
all
hear
the,
that?
the elementary schools need to have
In the
this
boys' bathroom.
Yeah, so
I went to Alabama this week. You know what I had to first thing I had to say, because they was looking at me like I was different. First thing I had to say was, I'm from California, and yes, I identify as a male, and I know the difference between a man and a woman. And all they did was clap and laugh at me. That's what we become. We've become something of a spectacle. Did you know? This is why. Did you know that Jill Biden, she got her a doctorate, Dr. Jill Biden, for National Women's Month, gave an award to a transgender male who identifies as a woman. Ladies.
Wait,
sorry-
what? Say it again.
For it was Women's Day, right?
Yes.
It was the day, yeah. He gave it to a dude dressed like a girl. And he looked like a dude too.
He-
Jake said trans woman.
I think that's the correct way to say that. You need
No,
to
was it
fix
a
that.
dude or was it a chick?
It was an ugly dude dressed like a girl. It looked like just ugly across the board.
So I take it you're not doing it. You're
No.
not buying it. You're not drinking this Kool-Aid.
At least get in shape.
Oh, that's gonna get me in trouble. That's good. I just told Deshaun drink Kool-Aid. That's gonna get me in trouble. Here come the comments.
Try to look decent. Like
She
he
did.
he didn't
looked
even
like
try.
a dude.
He didn't even try.
Big, tall. Yeah. Okay, this is why they look at us funny. Hold on. To all the women out there, I just need you to know Mother's Day from here on out, all the guys is getting flowers.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, I didn't say that either.
I went too far. I'm doing too much. I'm doing too much.
Can we do chocolates?
I'm kidding. I'm just, how far? Listen. How? When is enough? Tampons in the boys' restroom. You got Jill Biden, who got 20 years of education and can't figure out the difference between a man and a woman, and honors a man on National Women's Day.
How disrespectful is that?
So all the women, where are the women at? Y'all should be mad. The men, listen, and then you're going to get mad. The NCAA or whatever just said men can't compete in the powerlifting if they identify as women. Where are the real feminists?
Yeah.
The men are dominating. They're going to get paid more. They're going to break all the records. And you guys will be reduced to what used to say misogynistic men would say, to the kitchen. No, it's the liberals putting you in the kitchen. It's not us. It's not. We believe in femininity. We want you to have your own sports. We want you to be able to be recognized on your own day. And it's the progressive left. It's these people who don't lost their freaking minds. Instead of finding a noble woman who has had an impact, you pick a dude. Trans man.
White dude still getting everything. Even National Women's Day.
I know it's Venezuelan. He was like Nicaraguan or Venezuelan.
He was light skinned.
He was blonde.
But you're all right. You're all right though.
Yeah, he wasn't white. He wasn't. Sorry, Mike.
Would you please retract?
Apologize to him. This is what he's been waiting his whole life.
No, he looked white.
He was a white man from Venezuela.
There you go.
He was white that identified as a Venezuelan woman. Or no, I don't know. Okay, now we're going too far.
Okay, let me tell you my little story. You brought up the dispensary tampons in the bathrooms. Okay, so 2 weeks ago, for our church, we have setup, right? 6:30 in the morning, we get there early. And so my youngest son comes with me. He's 11. And
this already just going to get interesting.
We're in charge of setting up the inside sanctuary and also the bathrooms.
Okay.
And so at the school, it's at an elementary.
You setting up your own type of dispensaries in there? What you doing, bro?
and so we knock on the door and we put like soaps and hand towels and things like that. We go into the women's restroom, make sure nobody's in there. And my son goes, "Dad, this is not fair. The women have 2 hand dryers and we only have 1." Is what he tells me. And I go, "All right." So I go, "Let me break this down to you. That's not a hand dryer, son. That's for women's products." Right? And so I'm cracking up because he's never seen this thing before. I say that to say this, that your boys are going to come home and they're going to ask you questions. Like, what is this? And now you're going to have this conversation with your sons.
Well, your son at 11, I mean, that's kind of late in the game to be having that conversation, right?
About tampons?
Why would you? Yeah.
Why would I ever have
I don't think I've ever had a conversation with my son about tampons, Mike. I don't. What did I miss?
I mean, my boys are younger, so I guess I'm like.
Nah, you're not gonna have that conversation.
Hold on.
That's not part
did I miss something?
That's not part of like your sex ed talk or what?
What's that got to do with us?
Yep. Maybe I
yeah, hold on. Yeah, talk to me. I mean, I'm intrigued over here. We just reached an interesting point of the Not Offended podcast.
I just like
where even Jake doesn't know who to put the camera on. This is, you know what? We're gonna have to put a pause on that one. We're gonna have to circle back to it.
So, at what age do you guys start doing your sex ed talks?
Oh no, I told my son about all that, but what? I'm still.
Okay, let's say the sex ed talk, the tampons didn't come up.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't. What?
At least it didn't with my son. He didn't know what it was. He didn't know.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
does a boy need to know about that? At least you get married. It don't matter to you.
I don't know. I don't know
We're
where
all
to go with
stomped
this.
over here.
I don't know where to go. We need your help in the audience.
I don't know what boxes get checked in your sex ed talk.
I don't know.
Let's just say I learned about all that.
Jake, where do we go? Is there a clip we can cut to?
Let me bring this back.
Okay,
This
do
is the
something
whole
with it.
point.
Okay, something. There's going to be dispensaries in the boys' bathroom. We're going to have a whole lot of questions.
The whole point is kids should not be going to school having to learn about this stuff.
Right.
So
They're there to learn reading, writing, math. Why are we having this stuff going on in there?
The person
I'm going to
that
have
told
this
me
conversation
about it,
with.
they had the same issue as a teacher at Fresno Unified. They were like, just at least give us a heads up so we can have a conversation with our kids. So they walk in, they're like, what is this? Then the little boy next to him, whose parents are crazy, told him everything, and they're telling them about this instead of you telling them about what's going on.
Sure. Okay, let me ask you this. with our schools, not all of them, but a good portion of them, behind in reading scores, math scores, English scores. I think I just saw the article today. More kids have been suspended than haven't. Like, there's an issue here. Bad behavior. We got all this stuff going on. You really think by putting tampons in a guy's bathroom is the best use of money and resources? Is that where we're at with all the stuff we got going on?
To Newsom, he probably say it's great.
To who?
Newsom thinks it's great.
Newsom.
Oh, for sure. People in Sacramento.
It's going to help the
this
mental
is great.
health of our kids.
The mental health of our kids. I don't even know where to go with that.
But that was totally something that they would say, though.
Oh, yeah. It was totally something they were saying.
Yeah, that was
socially and emotionally. This is going to be
Yeah.
exceptional for you.
stellar.
Yeah, it's to be a bunch of boys just sticking tampons in the toilet, see how much water it can absorb.
Yeah. They'd be coming out with tampons out of their ears like this.
Okay.
Teacher turns around. She's on the board. She's getting hit in the back of the head with a tampon. That's really what's going to happen with it.
Yeah.
That's what should happen, though.
They're going to try to figure out
school.
if
like,
they can throw it up on the ceiling and get it to stick. Like, that's really what's going to happen.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. But that's what kids should be doing. Is like elementary school,
Coming into
right?
class, look at
Oh man.
Brian, stop doing that, Brian. Hey, they were in the bathroom. Yeah.
My podcast.
Boy, where are we at? This is
I'm moving on.
This is great.
I'm moving on. I don't know. You two, that was bad. You know you got small kids because I'm thinking of my two godkids right now fighting each other. Okay, that's it.
Man, your bathroom got swords in it. Man, my bathroom got swords in it.
We ran out. Somebody ran out. Oh, for sure. I got 100 on someone's overflowing the toilet. That's for sure because they're just gonna clog it. It's gonna be plumbing is back in business, gentlemen. Okay, Not Offended podcast.
Goodness.
I don't know if we're gonna keep that part in or not, but that was just too much. All right, so on this, I just got back from Alabama. Shout out to Ivy again. I'm wearing a shirt where he teaches men to be prophet, priest, king, warrior of their homes and in their communities. And there's an old saying, if you heal the man, you heal the home. If you heal the home, you heal the community. Oh, maybe that should be a new slogan for a politician. Let's heal the man.
Yeah, I like that.
And then we'll heal the home. Then we'll heal the community. There you go. That's something to run on. I think that's a little bit.
Can you say that one more time?
Heal the man.
Okay.
You heal the home. If you heal the home, you heal the community. If you heal the community, you heal the world. So I think that's going to be something. But I went out there, and it's real interesting. I just want to take a moment and say this that to Pastor IV. It's really interesting. You find a group of men, and you have this connection with them, and it's like these are other men who've been forged in fire, and they've been through it. And whether you knew them 5 minutes or 5 years, it's a brotherhood. And it was really, really something special. So I had a great time with all the guys I met out there and just sharing life and sharing war stories, and how we've overcome and just we're blessed because of it. And I was around a bunch of men who not only affirm masculinity, but they believe in passing it on. And so to meet a group of guys who are just all about it was phenomenal. And it's like, God, what are you doing? You're doing something. And I'm here to say that, being a healthy Christian, masculine man who defends women, who not only uplifts them, defends them, protects them, encourages them, inspires them, is back in style. And this is something I look forward to. So it got me thinking on my plane ride home. Got delayed forever. My gosh, delay. One time didn't have a pilot. One time didn't have no stewardesses. One time I was like, just don't say mechanic because then I ain't getting on the plane, right? But it got me thinking. Some of us are older than others on this podcast here, but if we could go back and we could tell our teenage self just one thing, because I'm going to encourage everybody to share this with their child, maybe not the whole podcast, but this part specifically. If you can go back and share something, and we'll start this way. We'll start with you, Mike, go you, Bishop, and then we'll end up with you, Bill. If you could tell you one thing to your young teenage self, pick any age, 14 to 18, it doesn't matter, 13 to 18, doesn't matter. What's that one thing you'd go back and you give yourself advice, and maybe that'll help some other young person out there. Go ahead, 13 to 18. What would you tell yourself?
What, were you laughing at me or what?
No.
If I was to tell myself,
Go back and tell yourself, yeah.
not having a relationship with Christ, I would tell myself that not all Christians are the way that the world paints them to be.
Oh, come on. Speak on that.
And that there are really good people out there who love Jesus, and that Jesus loves me.
Oh, wow.
And that I would tell myself, through high school and early college, like, you'll have regrets not following Christ.
Oh, okay.
You'll have a lot of pain not following Christ, but following Christ, I've had no regrets.
That's good. Bishop, what you got, man? That's good.
Find some Christian friends.
Speak on that. Just tell us why. Because, there's probably a mom. There could be a mom or a dad watching. If you could just expound on that. Just.
I mean, I had a lot of friends I had were actually really good. But they just didn't have Christian values. So they're still, you can still sleep around and things like that. But they would they'll treat their girl good. They wouldn't be like crazy. We didn't get drunk. We didn't do things like that. But if I would have had a Christian friend, because I knew those morals and I actually wanted to stick to all of them. But in times of temptation, I had no one to go talk to or someone to.
So you needed a brotherhood.
Mm-hmm. If I just had someone there to encourage me to keep living for Christ, I would have done it. I think I would have made it through it, through those times. And so just to have someone, at least if I would just had this one friend that really wanted to follow Christ, I think it would have changed a lot for me.
That's good. Bill, what you got? What you got for us?
Same round about friends. I tell myself the friends that I have here in high school, we thought this was it. This was life, best friends forever type stuff. These friends that you have are not the friends that are going to still be around in 20 years.
That's true.
If I look back, I probably would have made a lot better choices had I had some different friends, But, you give in to kind of peer pressure and, trying to be popular and, everything in high school and, you think that's life, what's happening there. But it's such a small percentage of your life for the rest of your life. But it has a huge effect on what, for your next 20 years. So certainly with friends.
Man, I think all of you guys are spot on. This is the Not Offended podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. Leave a 5-star review if you can. Appreciate it. Shout out to all my homies watching that we've picked up along the way. We're talking about what would you tell your younger self right now as a young man. I know people tell us all the time, you focus a lot on young men. Here's why. If you heal the man, you heal the home. If you heal the home, you heal the community. And a real man protects women, and a real man uplifts women. And that's what we're trying to do. So, ladies, we ain't forgotten about you. We're just trying to forge some real men so you have somebody to marry. Someone say amen to that, right? Not you guys, of course, but them watching. I was thinking about that question to myself. All of your answers are correct. To have somebody who knows Jesus, to have a tribe, right? That's what you guys are saying. You needed a tribe. You need to find a brotherhood. If I could say something to a young man out there, just because I was young, and maybe it's just more my personality, is you don't know what you don't know. And I wish somebody would have told me that. And maybe somebody did, but I was too hard-headed, too stubborn. And I blame my old man for a lot of stuff that really I just didn't know. I didn't know the whole story. And you don't know what you don't know. And I would tell a junior out there, I say, man, slow your roll a little bit. You don't know what you don't know. You're still wet behind the ears is what they say. Now I'm so old, I tell young bucks, I'm like, dude, I got a shirt older than you in my drawer. Like, I've lived some life here. And so I would tell them, hey, slow it down a little bit and just really think things through a little. You don't know the whole story. And I'm not marginalizing or minimalizing what happened to you, but you don't know the whole story. And you're going to lean into God, and you're going to find your tribe, and you're going to find other men who want to infuse manhood into you. They want you to see what being a real man is like. Real men, they have no problem platforming other men. Real men have no problem platforming women. Real men don't get insecure around a strong woman. That's not how we roll. And so I would tell them that, like, hey man, you don't know the whole story. And so just take a deep breath and just be patient. You will know the whole story. Okay, let's do it this way. We'll start with you, Bill. We'll go Bill, Bishop, and then Mike. In your 20s, if there's a young man out there watching right now and they're in their 20s, right? Let's see how this advice changed a little bit. If you go back and tell your 20-year-old self, whether 20, 25, 28, what would you tell that guy? Them party years, Bill. Them party years, Bill.
Yeah, that was college.
That's college.
Ooh. Okay. For me, I would tell myself to take on more risks.
Okay, get after it. Tell us.
So it's okay to try things and fail. Like I will probably gone back and started my own business, right? Or something in that field, or gone back to maybe a different career path or something like that. But I would have tried things a little bit more, and not to be afraid to fail in my 20s. Here's why: because in your 20s, you should try all kinds of different things as far as setting yourself up for later in life, right? And the lessons you're going to learn to failing in that process will carry you on for the rest of your life. And so I wish I would have learned to fail on certain things, right, by trying a little bit more and being a little bit less reserved in my 20s, because you'll have some time to kind of catch up.
Gotcha.
Right? In my age now, like I can't take as much risk as I could in my 20s, because hey, if I fail on certain things now, I have a wife and kids and things like that I need to think
That's
about.
good. What would you, Bishop? What would you tell you in your 20s?
Mel, something similar to Bill. I was gonna say the same thing. Like trying to figure out how really go make money. Figure out how to make money. Go take risks. You can you can fail on this. Okay, especially if you have good parents. Be willing to lead on them support in that way. That you can take risks. Like mom didn't move back in. I just failed everything. Her dad, I just failed everything. But willing to take those risks, and also don't spend a lot of time dating someone that you don't know if you're going to be with, like for the long time, for the future. If you're just there, it's like, hey, we're having a good time in the moment. You're just wasting your time.
Wow.
Like get out of that. Either
speak on that.
Either
Come
figure
on.
out if this is the person I want to type of person I want to marry, have the same goals, want to follow Christ. Otherwise, get out of it.
Okay, let me ask you this though. Since you just said, let me ask you real quick. Do you feel like getting married help you to mature and grow up as a man?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Okay, so what I'm hearing you say is you will actually cap yourself and stay in a sort of adolescence if you just keep being that dude who's got to hook up with different women or stay with this woman but never put down the ring and marry her. Am I hearing that correctly?
Yeah, I think once you have that commitment, especially you find someone who is on the same page as you.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
yeah.
we're not.
Yeah.
You feel more secure, like, and like again, even for me, I guess I was like, I have to make sure like she's taken care of. And so when it comes down to it, like I have to make sure. And so it made me just, want to fight more, want to do more, whatever I have to do. I'm going to job,
That grind,
I'll do it. And then also, because we're on the same page, it was never a fight to do certain things. It was never a fight to give. Like we were on that same page, so we're able to do it and move forward. And if I make a mistake because we're on the same page, I'm not coming back home to a wife that's going to beat me down.
Oh, gotcha.
We're on the same page, and we're like, all right, that didn't work out. Let's move forward.
Gotcha.
I just having that person instead of, it sucks if you have a wife that you're out there, you're trying to lead, and you make a mistake, and you go home and you're scared to talk to your wife about it because she's going to tear you down. But to have someone there to support you because you guys are on that same page, man, it's a huge difference.
Man, Mike, come with it, Mike.
I'll just piggyback off what you guys are saying. As far as like the 20s are such a decade of navigation.
Man, what a big difference between 20 and 29. I mean, was that just me, or does anybody else see that as a big difference?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But you're still navigating, and I think that's what Bill was saying. It's like, man, I'm trying to navigate what to do. Like I should have just taken more risks, or even like Deshaun, navigating kind of like what my next plan is to do. Even if I fail, I can go back home. And what I would have told myself in my 20s. Is that you'll go further faster with a pastor.
Come on.
And so having a relationship with a pastor, like once I started having a relationship, because you and I knew each other, but we were still so far apart,
right?
Like geographically, and like back then we were emailing and stuff, but
right.
We weren't texting.
That's how old we are. We was emailing.
Yeah.
Jake, do you know what emails are? Jake, are you sure? Okay, just making sure because you didn't know cheat codes a minute ago, Jake. Yeah.
Once I started having a relationship with a pastor, my life started to really get like direction.
Okay.
So I was trying to figure out all these different things, going through college, getting ready to graduate, all these. But like once I started having roots in a relationship with a godly man who would give me godly advice and give me godly direction, like I was able to like go further faster.
Man, so good. Wow, I don't know what to say to all that because all that is so spot on. And, just over here, kind of like a little mini revelation hit me. Like, this is the Not Offended Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Find us on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube. Give us a 5-star review. One day, Jake will get paid. That's going to be my slogan on that one. And by the way, the reason we do this is we talk about culture and its influence on the church. And a couple weeks ago, we talked about how there's such a large gap. About 70% of men who are 18 to 30 don't really go to church. That's really what it is. They're not getting married. They're not going to church. There's a big boy crisis. It's really serious. And so listening to you, thinking about, man, the difference between 20 and 29. I got married at 20, and by 29, I had all my kids for the most part. It's like, talk about a world of difference, right? And so I'm a little bit in a different ballgame. So this is what I would have told myself. Find your tribe. You know, you guys talked about that in your teens, right? You find your tribe, find your crew, your band of brothers. I needed to find my tribe. Talking to my wife this morning about what happened in Alabama. Move of God. And I don't say that. You guys know me. I don't say that unless stuff went down. And the Spirit of God is stirring. I've seen it. I've seen echoes. I hear rumors of revival, rumors of what God is doing. I've seen something. And I was talking to my wife this morning, and I kid you not, I felt like something prophetic was welling up within me. And I have this thought, and it hit me. David found his mighty men who were in debt and distraught and discouraged, right? You remember those, they say that in Samuel, those D's, in debt, distraught, and discouraged, or dissuaded. Let me tell you something. Men of God, band of brothers, your tribe is not forged in a palace. It's forged in a wilderness. Band of brothers are not given into comfort. They're born in the midst of adversity and distress. These are other brothers who are forged by the fire of God in a wilderness, on a battlefield, not in the comfortability of a palace where you have wine and food and grapes. No, that's how you get soft. But David found his tribe when he was on the run, not when he was over there being carried on shoulders and having songs sung about him. He found his tribe on the run. They were already doing what God had already destined them to do. They were already being warriors. They just needed a leader. I'm telling you right now, there are men out there who are just looking for a leader, someone with courage, someone who's saying, listen, I too am in the wilderness, but I see a path forward. I see something I can forge. I see a trail I can blaze. I know how to get us and conquer and get us into a palace. And this is what's crazy. Every single one of them were giant killers, but he found them in the battlefield. He found them broken. And he said, I know the way back to getting you back to being whole and getting you to who God has called you to be. And it hit me. We need to be finding these men who are already fighting battles. They're just fighting the wrong battles. Men trying to conquer woman after woman after woman after woman. Men trying to get all this money, this money, this money. These men are depressed. They have no purpose. They think they're living their best life, and they're not.
Yeah.
But they're in a different type of fight. We need to find those men and say, listen, God has called you to level up. I'm not calling you out. I'm calling you up. I'm telling you, got what it takes. Right here. And so I'm thinking, man, how many of these guys are in their 20s going, there's got to be something more. I'm just working. I'm coming home. My wife and I ain't solid right now. My girl and I ain't solid because we ain't even married. I'm thinking it's if I just get that car, if I just get that house, if I just get this, if I just get this chick, if I just get her, or if I can just get... No, you're still empty. You're still empty. You're still terminal. You're still going to die. Your days are numbered. And so they're grasping onto these things. And I'm telling you, they're out there. And they're in debt. Well, especially with all the school loans. They're distraught. And some of them are discouraged in their faith. You might know a man like that. I encourage you. Send them over to Adventure Men. We forge men in the fire of adversity. And you know what? I think men are tired of being codified. I think men are tired of being bailed out. They want to work through some things. They want to find God on their own. They want to see God come. They want their own freaking miracle story. Where God came through when they were almost in the midnight hour and bam, God came through. They don't want to live vicariously through another man. No man want to do that. You want your own story. I'm telling you, I think that's what I'd tell that young buck in his 20s. Bro, you got this. Got men telling me, I don't know what to do. Well, then that's going to put you on your knees praying. It's going to make you seek out a mentor. Think about, we'll end off with this. Give me one thing that changed your Christian life. Give me one moment, one instance, one thing, something. Tell me when you really noticed a difference in your walk with God. Go ahead. Tell me what it was. Go ahead, Mike.
A small group I went to.
Come on. Tell everybody.
I showed up at a Wednesday morning in Portland, Oregon. It's like 6:30 in the morning to the pastor's house. There was five other men around a 6-person table.
Changed your life.
And it changed my life that day. But hands down, that day changed my life forever.
There you go. Bishop?
It was sort of like a small group. Pastor Edward Coleman opened up his house, him and his wife.
Shout out. Mm-hmm.
It was funny. With just my family, it was my younger brother, my mom, Pastor Coleman, and his wife. And we just went over the foundations of Christian faith. Then it changed my life.
Bill?
I decided to say yes.
Talk on it.
To certain things that you had been challenging me. So I came here for first 3 years of being at Adventure. Here's what I told myself. I go, I'm just coming on Sundays and I'm going back home because we came from a bad situation previously in our church. And, just saying yes to the things that these pastors were challenging me on. I said yes to the challenges, and it completely just changed my life, like, immediately. And so that was it.
Well, there you go. You hear it. Every man's got a story. And I want to just speak to the men who watch this real quick. Hey, listen, you are more than your job. You are more than your net worth. You are more than what you've acclaimed that, whether it's the women you slept with or the money you made. You are more than that. You're a kingdom man. You're built for a purpose. You're built on purpose for a purpose, and you need to hear me. And we're looking for you. And we're not gonna rest until we find you, until we watch you become the man that God has destined you to be. You are a warrior. You are a priest. You are a king, and you are a servant. Don't ever forget that. And I tell you right now, I stand by. If you heal the man, you heal the home. And if you heal the home, you will heal the community. We believe in you. We respect you. We salute you. And we can't wait for you to join us. This is a shameless plug for every Tuesday night where we want to come and have community with you. We will not bag on you. We will not pick on you, but we will call you up, not call you out. And we'll tell you there's more to this life. So I just want to put that out there to all the moms who got sons, 15, 16 years old. Yo, man, bring them. Bring them. We want to love on them. You know that you probably say they got no man in their life. Well, bring them over here. Bring them over here. Let's get them into the tribe and let's show them what's up. And we're going to watch God forge them in fire. This has been the Not Offended Podcast. We want to thank you so much for tuning in. Hey, leave us a comment, hit the like button, share it with somebody, even tag somebody. It's been an honor and a privilege. We'll see you next week. Peace, and we're out.